good, you're here, and you're not lost, I assume. If you are... I'm a bit too busy for that, but someone inside would be very happy to answer all of your questions. Anyway, I'm Hilda Stoltz. Hi. I'm head of the organic sector, which is exactly where I'm about to run off to. But don't worry, my Uncle Hugo is very eager to meet you. Just down the hall, in the Overseer's office, as he is the Overseer. Oh, and I've disabled the two-step lock, so coming and going should be easier now. Anyway, like I said, Uncle Hugo, down the hall. Toodaloo!
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to
Willkommen.
get a breath of barely
Bitte komm
fresh
rein.
air.
My niece told me to expect you. And do not mind my appearance. I can assure you I mean no harm. Can the same be said of you, though, outsider? Do you intend to harm us? My niece to a trap. Where are my manners? Offish, you're a most welcome guest here. I cannot be too careful. It has been a long time since we've spoken with anyone from the surface.
Shaking a while back.
Ah, fascinating.
Said it was nothing.
Is that the faint clicking of a Pip-Boy I hear? How grand. A colleague from another paradise below the ground. Vault 70s.
I miss research and science and
Oh,
discovery.
don't be silly. You certainly aren't from any of the others nearby. There's no need to be coy. I think we can both gather why I'd come to such a conclusion. Wunderbar. Kismet even. We are having fun now, aren't we? Listen, my new friend. Regardless of what pretenses my dear niece may have brought you here with, I believe I can repay you for your effort. No catch. Just opportunity. As you may have ventured to guess on your trip here, our beloved Shenandoah has seen better days. Less stormy days. I'm in the midst of trying to get this under control, but our vault is still in a bit of a state of shock. If you'd be willing to engage in a bit of freelance work, I'm sure I can provide plenty of payment in kind.
Just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Ha! As they say, lies have short legs, no? Rest assured, you'll see this is quite the legitimate operation we have here.
Sure was something. You know,
Perhaps I should introduce myself to assuage any hesitation you have. I am Hugo Stoltz, overseer of Vault 63, yes, but also a principled man of business from the world of yore. Founder and CEO of Stoltz Enterprises, respected member of Vault-Tech's board of directors, and overall international man of mystery. Allow me to formally welcome you to Vault 63 as our, let's say, outside consultant. Yes, that'll do perfectly.
you should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents.
In words, no. But I could feel your heart leap at the promise of our joint triumphs to come. You cannot hide these things from me, I'm afraid.
Vault 63.
No, I'm sure you have many questions. I would expect no less, but I promise your first task will help to answer much. Speak with our Chief of Security, James T. Oberlin, and fetch me his latest situation report. I'd like to have him vet you a bit before we proceed any further. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer questions for you about our current predicament while you're at it. So curious. I love your enthusiasm. I knew I was right. What would Cassie do?
What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our...
The new animals up there. Any of them...
Don't you go starting any trouble around here. Keep it civil.
Hopefully Daniel will report in soon. Been expecting you. James T. Oberlin, Chief of Security, Vault 63. Formerly United States Army. Ordinarily, an outsider would report directly to the security offices. But as you've seen, Mr. Stoltz isn't fond of ordinary. How exactly did you end up on our doorstep, outsider? Another rat in the race. Perfect, just what I needed. No wonder Mr. Stoltz was interested. Well, considering I'm entirely lacking any sort of credentials or background on you, perhaps you can fill me in on your history.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
Did you really think that would work? Our records tell a different story about 76's overseer. Maybe you deserve half credit for being upfront about the vault part, though. No. This was a test, and you just failed it. Mr. Stoltz buzzed me ahead of your arrival. Vault dweller from 76, capable of dispatching Lost, and apparently, a clown. Listen, I know a dog and pony show when I see one. I couldn't talk Mr. Stoltz out of this if I tried. Take my status report and run along. We'll be working together soon. So expect that attitude of yours to shape up. Dismiss. Unless there's any pressing questions that need answering.
I wonder how that happened.
Fine. It's only fair that you're briefed on our situation. 63's construction had fallen behind due to its lofty and ambitious size. This left our population exposed to extreme levels of radioactive fallout after the bombs fell. Those of us that survived the exposure ended up like this. But working with us so-called ghouls won't be a problem, will it? I suppose we shall. Our former friends, family, neighbors. An accident some decade back led to their creation. Their condition is irreversible. Beyond that, I'll leave it to Mr. Stoltz's discretion on further details. Just know, they will kill you on sight without mercy. Communication is impossible. Do not hesitate to strike first. That is correct to a degree. Mr. Stoltz had been afflicted during the same accident that created the Lost. However, he retains his sanity and his ability to communicate. Well, retain sanity is perhaps... Actually, I apologize. This isn't water cooler gossip. I believe I've answered your question. That's fine. What is it? Our facility houses a large-scale weather control device. Some decades ago, an accident rendered it inoperable. However, a recent event has led to its reactivation. With that, we have the storm, along with other unexpected outcomes. One of our top priorities is bringing it back under our control. A number. An earthquake for one. A series of unidentified electromagnetic events for another. Yes, significant damage to the tram tunnels that once connected the various research sectors of this vault. Additionally, damage to the manor grounds directly above have caused some structural integrity issues with the atrium. Perhaps most concerning, though, is the various exposed entrances to the vault spread throughout the region. This has led... When the earthquake hit and the storm took shape, we were informed of a surge of energy near the proper entrance to the vault, back up north. This likely resulted in the security door being propelled some great distance.
There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened.
Interesting. Were these different times, I'd be tempted to weaponize such a thing. Very well. Good. That's going on your record, and I'm not a Marine. Just get out of my sight. Move along.
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents. I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air. Research, and science, and discoveries, and news.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little. Need something? What's up?
How's it going out there? Windy? Airish? Wow. Your skin isn't split at all.
How's it going out there? Windy? Airish?
What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our... you know...
Speak for yourselves. I'm glad to be away from the weather machine. Made my
Seeing someone do so much good around here. It's refreshing.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air. You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents.
Are there many like us out there? You know, with the...
It's been a long time since we had a good community gathering.
Ah, you've returned. I've just been thinking on some things. Yes, that. Don't worry about that now. I have a question for you. Tell me, are we our brains? Such a simplistic view of the world. I envy the narrowness of your perspective. Consciousness, perception, encoding and the formation of memories. To take the observable world and sculpt from it a translation of ourselves, of others. And in the eyes of others, how many versions of us exist? Of course. We've only just met. I apologize. You have the spirit of an old friend about you. I've forgotten there's much new ground to tread between us. I may have failed to mention this before, but I am or was blind. Born that way. After the incident that left me in this state, I became able to truly see the world. Well, perhaps it's more accurate to say, I feel the world. Pulses of electricity, waves bending and refracting, gentle hums of life vibrating shapes into being. This world I see, I share it with the lost. I live as they do, yet I remain myself. Perhaps more myself than I was before. But others were lost to it. And, well, I suppose I cannot explain what their mind perceives, just as one could never explain sight to me before. We have been trying to... If only it were that simple. All of this is to say we need your help, my friend. There are many problems at our feet, and you are uniquely equipped to help us. Do not sell yourself short. You are clearly skilled in combat, seasoned by the world above, and knowledgeable on vaults. You're going to face a variety of challenges in future tasks, but I'm confident we've found the person for the job.
I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Screw it.
And
I miss how it was.
let's discuss next steps. There's 2 sets of investigations I'd have you undertake. Your new friend Oberlin can fill you in on one, and I'd be happy to walk you through the other. Take a moment to relax and process. Speak with either of us when you're ready to hear the details. And once again, I cannot contain my excitement in having you on board. Willkommen im Team, mein Freund.
Don't you be starting to
I
change
could use
things up
some help
around
over here.
We got a system and it works, damn it!
The new animals up there. Any of them good for eating?
I could use some help over here.
These jumpsuits don't leave much room for expression.
I could use some help over here.
Supplies are starting to dwindle a little, even with the stockpile from the supply runs. You know, before the storms.
I could use some help over here.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing.
So, shall we begin? There are some tasks that I'm unequipped to handle myself, and I need your assistance. Well, as you can see, I cannot. Or at least not in the same way you see the world. More precisely, while I can navigate just fine, there are a number of optical challenges that my condition does not account for. Normally, I would have someone assist me with that, but, well, we are getting ahead of ourselves. So shall we begin? Excellent. As you've hopefully been made aware by now, the source of the weather phenomenon outside is a device that is under our control. Or rather, the lack thereof. Control, that is. In order to solve this error, we'll need to acquire the weather machine's blueprints. They are in the wall safe just over there.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
I've been known to be a bit creative with resources in the past, but I am not that wasteful. The safe can only be opened with a key that my beloved wife Cassie has chosen to hide in a very secure location. So secure that only she knows where it is. This is problematic, as she has been unwell and unresponsive for quite some time. That said, she was a diligent note-keeper. I'm certain you could find out where she moved the key to if you were to search through her notes. You should find them all in our room upstairs. It is unlocked, so you should be able to just walk in. With my condition as it is, I'm unable to do this myself, and thus, my new friend, the task falls to you.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
There was another copy, but I don't even want to get started, to be honest. Intellectual property can be so tricky to keep locked away. Perhaps chasing down the problem is something we could look into another day. For today, the safe is our solution.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce.
I dare say I barely understand it myself. Prior to certain circumstances, I was blind. Born that way. Since sad circumstances, I've come to be able to see, but not in the traditional sense. Alas, written text, paper, and terminal alike remain my mortal foe. Discussing the boring details any further are for another time, though. Please, let's return to the matter at hand. I'm concerned for my wife's privacy. Her notes could include audit reports and other sensitive information. While it means nothing to a stranger like you, it could sow discord in our vault. I'd rather not have files go missing or rumors spreading. You understand, don't you?
There was a landslide around the
Aber natürlich. Please come back if you can. So, shall we begin? Excellent. Or rather, the in order to solve... If only it were that simple. The safe can only be opened with a key that my beloved wife Cassie has chosen to hide in a very secure location. So secure that only she knows where it is. This is problematic, as she has been unwell and unresponsive for quite some time. That said, she was a diligent note-keeper. I'm certain you could find out where she moved the key to if you were to search through her notes. You should find that, with my condition as it is, I'm unable... You will? Oh, wie wunderbar. Best of luck.
I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Ah, screw it. I miss how it was before.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing. The new animals up there, any of them good for eating?
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Huh? What did you say?
Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system. Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system, and it works, damn it.
If I hadn't already lost my hair, I'd be tearing it out right now. Make it quick. If I had time for idle gossip, I wouldn't be seeking your assistance in the first place. You'll have to speak to someone else. I will indeed continue to be this way. Thank you. Your assignment does not require knowledge of the vault beyond the immediate area. You will find adequate signage for familiarizing yourself with the premises. Perhaps later, if you prove capable, we can talk in more detail. I've been spread thin dealing with surface-side security concerns. My more menial tasks have started to slip through the cracks, however. I can tell you're equipped to handle much worse, but tackling some issues from my backlog would be of great service to me, at least as a start. There are 3 in particular who often bring up issues to me. You can start there. They are vocal. They'll be more than happy to provide details on themselves. I understand you value your time. However, I currently do not. Handle this for me and we can discuss fish of all sizes. There are 3 residents that have been complaining about a myriad of concerns. Margaret, Lawrence, and Julio. Your best bet is to track them down. They're likely lounging about waiting for someone else to handle the hard work. They should have more than enough to keep you busy for the time being. Report back when it's been handled. In the meantime, I have other matters I need to attend to, so... Maybe I can dig up some information on the rest of Appalachia. Could prove useful.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely
Been a long
fresh
time
air.
since we had a good community gathering around here. I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Screw it.
Yeah, people who eavesdrop are the worst.
Oh, a stranger. We haven't seen anyone from outside in a while. What brings you here?
Lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
What's a ghoul?
Is that what they're calling our condition outside? Those bastards.
That means this is a widespread condition and not unique to us.
I suppose we do look ghoulish. Smooth skin? That's an interesting way of putting it.
The new animal.
Ooh, I like that. Those smooth-skinned bastards.
If we make contact with the outside again, it wouldn't hurt to use their terminology.
Thanks for the intel. Is there anything else? That we've spent far too long cooped up here. I can't wait to get back to work.
Vault 63.
You said it, sister.
Is there anything else?
Keep lasting.
Now, why would we tell you that, stranger?
Yeah, a real nosy stranger. Hey, Julio, get it? Because they got a nose and we don't.
It ruins the joke when you explain it, Lawrence.
Is there anything else?
These jumpsuits don't leave much room.
Chief Oberlin's finally getting around to dealing with this, huh? And sending in a stranger to boot. We must have it tough. Yeah, there's a few things we've brought up before. Most of it in the lower levels. Things like strange noises coming from the generator room. People are scared to go check it out in case one of the Lost are in there.
Oh, also, we have a huge rat problem in the storage room, as in, huge rats. Last time I was on a food run, something jumped right past me and snatched it. Damn near took my arm with it, too.
And, someone should probably take care of Alfie.
Yeah. Alfie was one of us, but his condition got worse until he got us to lock him in his room. He's probably lost his mind by now, but no one could bring themselves to do what needs to be done. You didn't know him, though. If there's anything you could do for him, we'd appreciate it.
There was a landslide around the mansion. I wonder how that happened.
Rad rats? We'll need to make a note of all these new terms outsiders use.
Tired.
Since the earthquake, we've been experiencing more and more of the wasteland's wonders. And we're not exterminators, much less seasoned fighters. That's why we put in a security request to deal with it.
They've been left like that for so long. They've probably multiplied by now.
Is there anything else?
What's up?
We're just guessing, to be honest. Hard to tell why the Lost do anything they do.
We've been hearing whispers and pops like static electricity, which is pretty much exactly what the Lost sound like. We also know what happens when you get too close. They'd kill us as soon as you'd squash a bug.
The new animals up there.
That's if they don't turn us into one of them first. There's too few of us left now to take a risk like that, but, you look very capable.
Is there anything else? Alfie was a good guy. Had a tendency to overdo things, though.
Remember when he skipped work because he wanted to find out if we could still get hangovers after the change?
Yeah, I remember that. I had to take over his shift the next day, that bastard.
His apartment is in the lower levels. The key is still down there. Somewhere. Is there anything else? You can get to the lower levels from the elevators just over there. There's also a stairwell down just across the atrium that leads directly to the storage room. Good luck. And thank you.
Before the accidents.
Good luck down there, and, welcome to Vault 63.
Yeah, people who eavesdrop are the worst.
Have you heard about... again?
How about some space, buddy? You're, standing a little close there.
Supplies are starting to
Need
dwindle
something?
a little, even with the stockpile from the
Vault
supply
63
runs.
has lasted this long.
Before
No
the
reason to think it
storms.
won't keep lasting.
Looking for someone?
And then I saw... Do you mind?
Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system